Hi, I'm Dr. Wendy LeBorgne coming to you this month with the Nat's Wellness Chat. This month, in honor of Halloween, we are going to talk about witches' brews and potions and things that singers use. I will say by far, singers, when they come to my office, have the most concoctions of any group that I see. Specifically, the teas that they drink, the things that they ingest, the routines that they go through on a regular basis for their voices is fascinating to me. So we're going to spend the next 15 minutes or so because we cannot get through every herb, supplement, concoction that people create, but we're going to take a few of the most common ones, and then I'm going to give you some resources that you can go back and take a look at if you have specific questions about herbal supplements or vitamins. So some of the things that my singers most often come in with are their choices of teas. Then they come in with their uses of honey. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And finally, their throat lozenges and throat sprays. So this again is variable for everyone. However, we're going to talk about some of the things we know and don't know as we come into the Halloween months. So teas. Nothing that we eat or drink goes directly over the vocal folds, and we've already talked a little bit about this. Specifically, what we can talk about related to tea is that some of the teas, like throat coat tea, and in no way am I endorsing any specific brand, but throat coat tea, I believe, has something that we call slippery elm. And slippery elm is an herb that is known to have lubricating effects on the pharynx. Again, it does not go directly over the vocal folds, but it does have some glycerin type effects to the pharyngeal area. So if you are feeling pharyngeal dryness or mouth dryness, certainly something like throat coat tea would be beneficial. I would caution anybody who drinks teas or warm or cold liquids that we don't go on either extreme. You don't ever want to drink anything that's super hot because it can burn the mucosal lining. Conversely, you don't want to go something super cold because if you drink something that's really cold, it makes the musculature constrict. And we want to make sure that you don't constrict the muscles, especially when you're already warmed up. So warm tea is fine. We do believe there may be some thermal effects to the vocal folds, but again, it does not go directly over the vocal folds. Ginger tea. So this particular one that I pulled out of my cabinet, it has ginger in it. Ginger is known as an herb to have improvement for digestion, and specifically we know that it will be an anti-nausea. So early pregnancy studies have shown that ginger suffices as something to help with an anti-nausea. So if you're feeling nauseous, if you're in your first trimester of pregnancy, ginger tea might be an option, as is crystallized ginger and ginger ale and ginger snaps. So anything that has real ginger in it, it can be seen as something that's an herbal supplement to help calm the stomach. Peppermint teas, which we're going to talk about peppermint and chocolate probably when we get into December, but peppermint has also been shown as a digestive aid. We know that peppermint can cause acid reflux, but more than that, what we know about peppermint is that if you take a peppermint and you put a peppermint in your mouth, that peppermint will have this effect of making things heightened in sensation. So one of the reasons people talk about not having peppermint if you have reflux is simply because if you have any fluid in your esophagus, all of a sudden you add that peppermint and it creates this heightened sensation. Now, when people drink peppermint tea, it may be soothing and calming to the stomach, but if you have reflux, it actually may be counterproductive. Peppermint can certainly freshen the breath if you use it for that purpose. Peppermint oil is something that people will often diffuse in the little diffusers that we now see, and they will inhale it. So the inhaled peppermint can be something that helps feel like the passageways to the nasopharyngeal area are more open. Spearmint and eucalyptus also do the same thing when they are heated up and then diffused into the air. So when we talk about herbs a little bit, one of the things, they are plant derivatives. So you can use different parts of the plant. You can use the root. So ginger root is something that we do. You can cook the herb. So you get ginger tea. Or you can sometimes, depending on the plant, you use the flower part of the plant. Or you can also mix it with other substances where you get alkalols and other things. The problem with any of these herbal supplements is that it's not regulated by the Food and Drug Administration. And therefore, when you open a bottle of a specific herb or dietary aid, it doesn't necessarily go through the same rigors that our aspirin or Tylenol or cold medicines do over the counter. And so within the same bottle, even if you're dealing with the highest grade of the product, you may be getting variability of content within that specific bottle. So even though it says 20 milligram caplets on the bottle, they've been shown that some have 5 milligrams, some have 60 milligrams. And if you're very sensitive to certain things, that's going to be a problem. Some of the other teas that some of my singers come in with would be chamomile. Chamomile has also been shown to be helpful in sleeping, as a digestive aid. The problem, if you're allergic to anything in the daisy family, you want to stay away from chamomile tea because that can absolutely create an allergic reaction because it is in that same family with chamomile, or in the chamomile family and the daisy family live together. So you want to be very careful of that. Other teas that my singers come in with may include